With roughly 60 million Latinos in the U.S., we highlight Latinas of influence, businesses surviving to thrive. We talk culture, travel, health, wellness, music, entertainment, and of course, food. Our passion is to share inspiring stories with the community. I'm Richard Sandoval, and this is Hispanic Lifestyle. I will never forget the sight of you with a broom in your hand, sweeping up the streets and helping out in Los Angeles. And I can't help but feel that there's going to be parallels, if you will, in the future as our economy, as our small mom and pop businesses, as our Latino business community starts to come out of this pause we basically had in our economy.
I'm really hoping that our unification, as the fact that we've been able to, especially in some parts of the country that have really taken it wholeheartedly as a passionate understanding for others by staying in the house and not, having your distance, wearing your masks and your gloves, and participating in a real communal understanding of who we are as human beings. I'm hoping that will permeate itself and deter what could happen when people start to get, cabin fever, when people start to feel that they don't have to do this anymore, because this is really, really a difficult pandemic. This is not, does it kill you in 48 hours? No.
Right.
Is it Ebola? No. But if Ebola spread as incredibly easy as this did, then you'd really be out to lunch, because this is really, really spreading very quickly. Now, they just found out yesterday, okay, here we are, the 17th of April, and they found out yesterday that out of 100 women that were pregnant inside of this one situation, over 30 of them had the virus, asymptomatic. Didn't show it. And same thing happened with the people on the boats, the aircraft carrier. Hundreds and thousands of guys on there. Hundreds of them have it, but they're asymptomatic. Pregnant women. Oh, another group, 230 homeless people put into a home, trying to put them into a complex to split them apart and give them their own space. 1 out of every 4, a quarter, were asymptomatic. I'm not talking about showing anything. That's military, pregnant women, and homeless. It's disproportionately not understandable. And the people aren't even expressing it. They just put it out in the news and then kind of run away from it. Nobody ever digs in deep. But there are some people that are, and they're really doing it for a reason. Asymptomatic people are around us like crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if half the population has it now. And that maybe 2/3 or 1/3 of them, they don't even know they got it. They didn't show anything. It's really, really going to be very difficult, because everybody wants to open up the city and get out of this house safety rules that they have right now, which is great. Okay, you want to get out, go ahead, do your thing. But just be aware of the fact that if you get this, 70%, 75% of people get through it, and they're okay. Maybe 2%, a little less than 2%. As of right now, 36,000 people are dead in a matter of 2 months. I'm not talking, everybody says, oh, this is not as bad as, car crashes and, suicide. And, and they put these things in there and they go, no, what? Wait a minute, stop for a second, man. Emphysema, influenza, I mean, and that kills thousands and thousands. Yeah, over a whole year. Yeah. Well, give this a whole year and you're going to have millions. You got to really realize this is not, if we don't take care of it, if we hadn't done what we did and what we're doing by housing ourselves and separating ourselves and using really common sense, we're not going to be able to do this. Now, the most difficult thing I'm seeing right now, and I'm going to be very honest with you, is that the federal government, as of yesterday, proclaimed that they were going to let everybody they wanted to test, it was going to have to come by way of the state. Now, the states are running out of money. And granted, everyone's running out of money. The people, state, the wealthy are running out of money. They're running out of money because they make so much money that they don't want to lose their position in making their money for the year. I get it. I understand it. All right. Good for you. But I really want to make people understand one thing. Our federal government must come together with our state governments to help us really test for this virus and find out who has it, who doesn't have it, and who has it asymptomatic, and what happens to us, really, really happens to us once we get it, and are we immune to it? Are we not immune to it? Let's really bring ourselves together and not, we're right now, this morning, I saw Cuomo go after Trump because Trump did something on he texted something out, tweeted something out, and it was, I couldn't believe it. When I heard it, I had to download it and rehear it because I said, my God, these guys are really going to go after each other. This is it. So I really become very, very understanding of one thing.
All I know is that I believe that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I think some of the words that are coming out of the president's mouth is laying the foundation for something that we're going to see in the September-October timeframe.
Yeah.
I don't claim to have a crystal ball. I have no insights, but at the end of the day, I know that we can't underestimate the power of the media, the influence that the president has. And so with that said, I firmly believe, after I read some of the nonsense this morning, like you, it's got to be laying the foundation for something.
Well, yeah, it's gotten to that point now. And, basically, I'll be very honest with you, and we're talking about politics now, and I didn't think we'd get into politics so much so, but.
Hey, I'm following you on this.
It's really important for us to understand one thing. The future's in our hands. We have to vote.
Right.
Really have to vote. I used to say, and I've been since I was 78, I became El Pachuco in a play called Zoot Suit that changed the course of my career and also the course of Chicanos in the United States of America. And it's really changed the course of the way that theater looked at our culture, the Latino culture in the United States. It was the most prolific, and still is one of the most prolific pieces of work done on a Latino culture in the history of theater. And it launched me in my career. And at that time, Carter asked me to help him with the Latino vote. And I said, I can't. I'm the voice of Southwest voter registration drive at that time. And I've been nationally always trying to push people, get out to vote. I don't care who you vote for, but vote. And then Reagan called me, his staff called me and asked me to help them. And I said, I can't. I'm the voice of the voter registration drive. Then, of course, after that, Bush, and then Clinton, and then the other Bush, and then Obama, and they all have come to me. And I've said the same thing over and over again. I can't. You get them to vote for you. I'll get them to vote. You make them vote for you. Okay? But in this case, I have to really understand one thing. This is completely different. And I've never said this, and I'm going to start saying it. I'm going to say it here for the first time. And I'm telling you right now, we have to vote. And we have to vote for Joe Biden. And we must change the course of what has happened. And I know that there are many, many Latinos, and that's the ones that I really need to look at and really need them to come out of the woodwork and really vote. And I know that there's a lot of Republicans that are watching your show, and they're saying, oh, this guy's a Democrat, of course. No, I'm a humanist.
You are. You are definitely.
I am in this for the humanity. And I got to tell you right now, there's something critically wrong with what has happened to our entire structure. And you got to check it out. You got to understand what has been going on for the last 3.5 years. And I didn't want to comment on it, but you got to look at it. And if you're a Republican Latino, think about our culture and what has happened to us. And if you think that it's okay for that to happen, then I can't change your mind. But you're going to have children, you're going to have grandchildren, you're going to have children's children, and they're all going to have to live inside of this world. And it's a pretty difficult world to live in right now if you're Latino. And it's very, very much difficult to live in this world if you're a minority. If you're African, if you're indigenous, Asian, really difficult, I got to tell you. So all I can tell you right now is please understand. One, we got to vote. But this year, I'm not telling you, vote for whoever you want. I'm telling you to vote for Joe Biden.
I'm a businessman. I have a lot of Republican friends and a lot of Latino Republicans out there. And actually, I admire them. I admire them because they do have the same convictions.
They do.
I don't get it. I sent out a text or forwarded a tweet from the president this morning to my congressman. I said, do you, as my congressman, believe in this statement? I've yet to hear a response back.
You're not going to get
them. No, I'm not going to. But at the end of the day, it's this, that, and the other thing. Well, I'm telling you, I do not know how to explain any of this to my son, my 10-year-old son. My older ones are, they can make their own decisions. But at the end of the day, I do not know if I'm raising a man, and I do not know what to tell him almost on a daily basis about the person that occupies our White House. So
I totally agree.
I know that we just had the anniversary of Selena,
Sure.
And I don't know how many times I quote things that you said in that movie to my own children without realizing. Do you find yourself?
I think the one quote that I think the most is this stuff being a Mexican American. I got to tell you that. But you got to be more Mexican than a Mexican, more American than the American. You got to be able to eat American food, which is way too bland. And yet, if you eat Mexican food, you might get the run. So be careful. Montezuma will be watching you. But it's tough. You got to be able to speak English better than the Americans. You got to be able to speak Spanish better than the Mexicans. It's really tough being a Mexican American. That's one of the classic moments of film for our culture,
Right. I'm reinventing myself in this time, in this hitting pause and getting ready to restart the economy. I have a lot of friends that are actors and the creative types. You're in a little different position, but at the end of the day, you're a working actor. What are you doing right now? You've said you've been at home for 6 weeks. Besides the film festival, what are you doing to prepare yourself, and what are some of your next projects creatively in your future?
Right now, we're working on a few projects that we've been working on for many, many years, but very difficult to do because they have to do with Latino-themed projects. And they're hard to make. I'm right now doing Mayans MC, which is a television series for FX, now owned by Disney. It used to be Fox TV, but now they're owned by Disney. And we're going into, we've got 2 seasons already, and we're going into our 3rd season as soon as this
great ensemble. I watch it.
Good.
I will say there's a comforting experience when you come onto the screen. Yeah. So I won't spoil it for anybody else. But
yeah, this is spoiling. You should watch it. Just a great time to binge watch different situations. And this is one. It's called Mayans MC, like the Mayan Indians. MC Motorcycle Club. So that we're doing that, and we've been doing that for the last 2 years, going on the third year. And then we're also doing films and trying desperately hard to do a Latino Medal of Honor winner story, which I've been trying to do for over 35 years. Very difficult to do. And so difficult that, it's almost, you've never seen one. That's how difficult it is.
And you have a lot of material, to choose from, by the way.
Yeah, we're the most decorated, per capita, the most decorated culture in war history, especially for Medal of Honors and high-ranking medals, and the bravery of the culture since before the Civil War. The Civil War was incredibly, we participated in that, and but even back in the origins of the human, when we were fighting for the independence for our independence as the United States of America.
I was wondering if you were going to bring that up.
We were there.
we were definitely there. Again, I appreciate you taking this time on a Friday afternoon, but it doesn't really matter that it's Friday. I mean, one day seems to be blending into the next. But is there anything else? I know Latino Film Festival coming up, and is there anything else you'd like to plug while I have you?
No, I'm fine. I'm great. I just thank you for doing your program, and may it be more successful with every day that goes by.
All right.
We need your voice.
Well, thank you so much. Didn't get enough? There's always more at HispanicLifestyle.com. And follow us on your favorite social media platform.